Hey, welcome in, Sunny. Hope you're having a nice Monday evening. Is there any news about your computer? Before more people, before more people join in, obviously, I'm curious when we get our community superstar back. And you've not been saying anything, so I assume you're probably still waiting. I'm not entirely certain, but I would assume so. And holy heck, like since the editor gotten added, I am close to hitting 400 mods in all fairness. That's a mix of asset and code mods. But I think I surpassed 370 today while loading. And goddamn, my game is slow to load. Oh, you got it back already. That's so nice. What was it in the end? Where was the issue? I hope it wasn't anything too bad in the end. But yeah, glad it's fixed. That's nice news. I like the sound of that. Oh, okay. I mean, not amazing that your pump failed, but honestly, out of everything you could have had failing in a computer, cooler is probably the best thing you can have die on you. So I'm gonna say it could have been worse. And Sunny, I'm a bit excited because it's not 100%, it's not public yet. It's unlisted, but I pretty much finished my first asset mod ever, which so far we only really done decals on here, but that pretty much changed now. And I think even though I had a different plane, I actually posted a link in my Discord already. Like, if you want to check it out, the reason I've not published it is because I care about your cutie's opinion. So, in case you want to try it out, gladly have a look at it and tell me what you don't like and what you like and what I should change. There is still a few things missing, but it's basically nothing that matters. The only thing that really are missing currently are pretty much screenshots and description. And I might revisit some of the color combinations because I'm not certain I like the colors of all of these. I'm actually curious how well this is gonna work. I have not used the uploaded version yet. This is the first time. I only. Oh, well, okay. Fair done. But I have not really tried those out myself yet, outside of a bit of testing. I think I want to revisit quite a few of the color combinations, which I forgot that we have. Yeah, we actually need to click through them because they have asset variation changer. But I think I'm fine. What do you mean I didn't warn you? I posted in my Discord that I'm gonna go stream. But yes, they're done. The lightning is kinda shit, which that's on me. But again, I think I have to revisit the colors of some of them. Outside of the colors, I'm pretty much happy. One of the few things I'm still wondering, because I know how to do it, and I've been debating with myself, is if we remove the foundation of these. Because I built all of them in a way where they don't terraform, because I hate the way buildings terraform. So that's not something we've been using. Yeah, I mean all of them have 5 color combinations. Some of them better, some worse. To be honest, with the colors, I rushed a bit because it's pretty much the easiest thing to correct afterwards. But all of them should have 5 different color combinations, I believe. And again, I need to recheck the color because this color I can tell right away is too strong. Is a bit of a tricky situation to always anticipate the lightning correctly. And these two are a bit too close to each other, but working on it. I'm super happy because in the end we worked out everything that we want. I do have a Docklands Blue, but in a different garage. The reason I'm so proud is because, for example, I'm curious what you guys think about our cute garage icon here. I've gotten many things to work that I have not used in the past, and I think that the proudest I am of all of these garages is the following, which a lot of this work you made me, and welcome in, Rookie. Nice to see you here. But yes, the reason I am so proud of this, and I think Sunny is one of the main reasons that caused me a lot of work, because I always anticipated we were just gonna use those unfunctional and work those up ourselves. I have many boring gray versions as well. But yes, send me, I told you in my Discord, like if any of you wants to make color combinations, right? The one thing I want you guys to do, if you feel like it, obviously, nothing has to happen, but if you want specific colors, just go in, recolor this thing, tell me what garage you want in which color, and send me the hex codes. Just copy here. I'm not even sure if this also copies the hex code. I think it does. How can we get the hex code in this? Am I being silly? There has to be a version or a way to get onto the actual color. Oh, yeah, I'm silly. Of course, I could have figured. Thank you, Gaga. Good input. But yes, if any of you has wishes for a color of any of these, just go in here and put whatever colors you want. You said you want boring gray version, so you do something like this. And I guess you want an actual really boring gray version, so you probably want something like this. And then I guess you can even adjust the roof if you want it to be a bit lighter or darker. And then you go in and copy all of these or just take a screenshot. I hope you copy, because then I don't have to type, but whatever is easier for you, and you send those to me and tell me, hey, please add this color variation. And if I don't find that color variation very unbeautiful, let's phrase it carefully like this, then I will add it. So for now, absolutely no issue. Again, the one thing I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna remove the foundations of these, because I don't want terraforming. And in some angles, here for example, it was quite visible. You do got this foundation, which honestly might be better
That's
than there
cute.
just not being anything under it. But different. It depends. Also, these are not functional. If you plop them like this, they are all unfunctional. And this is what I've been spending a lot of time on,
I
because this
wish we
was
had a
not too
cactus.
easy. What you do to get this functional is very simple. You just need a road or an invisible path or whatever, any connection that allows pedestrians and vehicles. That's what matters. And then you put it towards it. And now, if you want this to be functional, you click this button where it literally tells you functional parking upgrade, and you click it on there, and ta-da, you see this garage surprisingly has space for one car because it's a very small garage, and you can adjust the parking fee. The reason I'm so proud of this is that it actually shows the usage of them. So even if there's a car parked in there, you just click on it and you see all of this. You can adjust all of this. And the actual nice part about this is it makes you completely unnecessary to pay attention to the passing because it doesn't throw a warning. If you want it unfunctional, just throw it wherever you want it. If you want it functional, just put it close to somewhere. Like, for example, if we place one of these next to the road here, we don't even have to do anything because the road already is an access, right? So in this case, we put the upgrade and this will be functional as well. Which I had other solutions. I spent a long time researching on how I can get this to be as elegant as I want it to be. This is the best solution I could come up with big major help by StarQ, who gave me a lot of interesting and good information and input on these things. Few people as knowledgeable as StarQ about this game. And luckily, I was able to ask him many, probably fairly silly questions. But yes, in the end, this is the solution we've gotten. And the pack itself, again, is pretty much done. We might fix up some color variations, because, yeah, looking at this color is definitely not what I want. But again, I hope maybe if some of you guys feel like it, maybe a few people send me color variations as well. I can just steal of you guys, and then you guys can say, hey, look, this garage here, this is my color variation. I did this. In fact, I actually wish I could give names to the color variation, so it actually tells the name of the person that does so here, but that's not an option, so sadly not anything I can do. And with that, we're gonna go in and yeet all of these out again. And try to find proper places, because I do plan on getting screenshots today. Because to release those, surprise, surprise, I need some cute screenshots for them. And we are just gonna go back into places where we feel like we can fit them nicely and make them usable. And that's pretty much our game plan for today. One position I already immediately jumped out to me, because when I built this thing, I always was unhappy with how small this is. I would actually like it. I mean, Rookie, I will not. If you post it in my Discord, then I will definitely do it. If you post it in the chat, I will definitely not do it, because I will have forgotten about it after stream and not scroll through my entire stream to find those things. So would be super cute if you could drop this in my Discord. Yeah, this Miata has sadly a broken engine, but Elgendo is no problem. They have another Miata. But yeah, just if you want any colors, just drop it in my Discord. Same goes for you, Elgendo. If you want a garage to be in a specific color that you like, just send me the hex code and what garage you want, and I will add it in. And welcome in, Chooks. Nice to see you, cutie. I'm a bit scared because we're playing with an unreleased version that I'm sure other people are testing as well. But of Anarchy and Move It, we do have copy paste in the game already. But also, there might be unforeseen issues. So if we crash today, then we know who's to blame, and is Yang Yang. Obviously, Yang Yang is never to blame, but yeah, we might crash today. So let's see. I hope we don't. The question is, and I'd be interested in your reaction to this. I was wondering, we also have to replay some of the decals here that are bleeding, that didn't bleed before. But if we're working here with the garages, obviously in my own build, I would probably put decals on there. But I think it's a bit unhonest to put decals on top of the assets. So I guess for screenshot, I shouldn't do that. And yes, of course, Elgando is right. I I, as a very poor person, paid other people to do this for me. I don't know, Rookie. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to say because I think Gaga is accurate. I spent a lot more time on this than this would have deserved it, but it also is a bit unfair because I had to learn a lot of things, right? I've never used the asset editor before, so a lot of what I've been doing here has been quite literally learning processes that I will benefit of a lot for the next assets we're making as well. So for this, very much accurate if Gaga says way too long, because yes, there's been loads of small things I've been running my head with my head first into a wall
Some
that I had
Latinos up here.
to understand and fix up. If it's just about actually making the asset, it's not that bad. It's very I don't know how I phrase this without standing on anybody's feet. I don't think making assets for this game is super difficult. I think it's very tedious. And I think many people are a bit untrue if they say, hey, you should not try this because it's too difficult. I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't think it's very difficult. But yes, it's very tedious. So I I think that is a lot more fair and true as a representation of it. And it takes time, but I also think we're getting, like, you're getting quicker, right? A lot of the things I've done this time, I had to read a lot, I had to understand a lot and get down the process. Now, many of the things that took me, like, I don't know, for example, when I first tried to add color mask, I've been a bit of an idiot. Well, I deleted the garages, no reason to go back there. But I've been a bit of an idiot and made it more difficult on myself than I should have been. So it cost me, I don't know, I don't want to even put a number behind it, but maybe 3 hours to get the first color mask to work. Now it takes me 1 minute to make any asset I have functional because I built myself a very nice material preset in Substance Painter. So now it's really quick, right? And I find it a bit unfair to say, hey, I took 3 hours to color this, because yes, that's the time I took to color this, but that's only because I had to understand it, right? And now I understand it. It's very quick and easy, so difficult for me to put a number behind it. And I'm so tempted. Again, I need your guys' opinion. Am I allowed to put decals on these if I want to use those for screenshot, or should I leave it the way it is to be more true to the actual asset? I think Elgando will probably tell me I should leave it the way it is. I think it's very tedious. I really don't think it's that difficult. I think the community needs to stop telling everybody stuff is so difficult because it scares people away off of trying to learn the same thing. We do want more people to make assets and any kind of things for this game. And I don't think we're doing ourselves a favor if we keep telling people it's so difficult. And I wholeheartedly also don't think so. So really, for that is difficult. Yeah, I don't think I think your idea of getting a tutorial to make assets is unrealistic, Rookie. I told you that in the past. Because every step, like I could make a 2 hour video just over the import process, right? And if I would have time to make videos, I would make YouTube videos, but I don't have time to make YouTube videos, so I doubt I have time to do this. What happened here? There was something on top of this. We had a cover here. I'm very surprised, very confused. Did our dome's parking lot disappear? We need to check something. Where did we have domes? This is not domes. Sorry, real quick moment, because I'm a bit confused, because there should have been something that's not there, and I want to see if I broke something in my playset. I don't think I did, but maybe. Yeah, no, here we have a domes rural carport. I don't know, maybe I didn't save or something afterwards. But yeah, the problem with making assets for this game is the process is simply a too long one, right? I told you before. The biggest part of what you have to learn is learn Blender, and there is no difference in any tutorial you find online about making a building in Blender and me showing you how to make a building in Blender. It's just the same process for anything, maybe with a bit more pronunciation of stuff being. The heck? Now it's here. Why was that not here a moment ago? Uh, the. Am I tripping? This was not here a moment ago. And there was decals instead. What is going on in my game? Is maybe the new version of Anarchy having problems with this? We need to investigate this. But you guys just seen how this wasn't here and we had decals here instead on the ground? Well, it is a lot of work, Wookie. That's the entire thing I'm trying to tell you. Like, nobody will be able to make a video that is shorter than like 20 hours on showing you how to make an asset. And even at that point, they will not be able to explain Blender to you in 20 hours. So that's why I'm telling you that I think your idea is not gonna really work out, right? Because nobody can take those complications away. It just is so much work. And yes, I am using the alpha version. That's why I'm paying attention to this, because I know that Yang Yang would be happy about reports of stuff that's working and not working. And this is definitely weird, because by now we don't even see the decals here anymore that we just seen a moment ago, even though we're brushing over this with anything we should. So I do think that maybe the old anarchy components are not carrying over. I'm not entirely sure where the issue is, but something to investigate more. I'm not sure. I have not tested anything. I have not played the game in the last week outside of the editor. So everything we're testing, we're gonna test together right now and learn and figure. I have not used anything. I've not copy and pasted or anything yet. I'm sure we will today. I'm just paying attention because depending on how critical this is, maybe I shouldn't save what we're doing today. But it seems like in most parts, what we've done is there. I'm unsure. I'll have to revisit this. I'm just checking so much because I'm unsure what if everything we had we kept or not. I definitely notice some things that are a bit off. So maybe I shouldn't keep the save we're using today. I'm gonna have to check after the stream and have a bit of a look at it. But yeah, I'm always creating new saves. I always recommend everybody to do that. Don't overwrite your saves. I multiple time in the past had saves of mine corrupt for no reason. So I would never overwrite a save if I've done anything of value. I don't trust it. But yeah, here also seems like a nice space. Put the garage back here. None of this is fully finished detailing anyways. So maybe we can dive a bit into this area. We're just gonna be mean and remove those kiddos' soccer goal. Yeah, and in all fairness, some things are also not fully done yet. Like, for example, you shouldn't move or touch any utility, like any electricity or water or something like that. Stay away from it for now if you can. It's something where Yen has been fairly straightforward about that not being properly implemented yet. But again, it's still in the early stages. I'm sure all of this will change. Here we definitely have to do quite a bit of terraforming, cause again, my garages don't terraform. I took a while to figure out how to work with the terraforming thingy. I think the more I look at it, I don't want to remove the foundation. Because in areas like this, the foundation actually is kind of valuable to have. It also avoids some things, but yeah, not the end of the world. But yeah, I totally like there is a reason this is still an alpha version. I would expect most people to still have some issues with them. Not the cleanest what we're doing here, but honestly, that is good enough for me already. I just need some places where I can take screenshots of them, and I do think this is good enough. I mean, honestly, I think Yen has been a lot quicker than I expected. Yes, it's slow progress, but Move It is also such a complicated and important mod, and there is so much to have in mind and keep in mind that I'm quite impressed because most of the things that are integrated right now he has already rewritten from what he've taken over from Cuboid. So I think his speed is pretty impressive, honestly. Yeah, no, I think it's not more complicated than what I imagine. I remember having long conversations with Yang Yang over Anarchy in the past, for example, because you guys remember, Gaga will remember for sure, when the Anarchy plug happened. That was shortly after I started to play the game. There was a bug in an Anarchy version that could corrupt your slopes. And I lost a save to it back then. I then in the end gotten it back, but it looked like I'm gonna leave it. And I've been talking a lot with Yen about things that anarchy especially can affect. And yeah, it's a mod that I would not want to be the position deal or in the position of Yen having to make sure that you don't mess up in anarchy because it's an actual mod that bears risk, right? Like anarchy can actually potentially break a lot of things in this game. So I imagine it to be a stressful position for Yen whenever he pushes an upgrade to have a confident feeling on that. Yeah, that's also gonna be a very cool mod, especially because in general I would be a bit concerned with that because I wouldn't be so sure that it's working smoothly with Yen with Yen's mod, but then I know Luca and Yen are quite close to each other, so I'm sure their stuff will work together absolutely flawless, cause they are talking to each other and both are very competent at what they're doing and surely checking those things in advance to make sure there is no compatibility issues in the future. Else I would be a bit more alarmed over something like that. But yeah, but also really looking forward to that. In general, I have to admit, I played the game very little lately because I didn't have super much time, and then I kinda been busy with Blender because again, rookie Blender is a lot of work if you wanna make proper things. So yeah, I've not gotten to look at many things. Like for example, outside of a little testing, I haven't even looked at Gaga's amazing new guardrail, which I mean I've seen status updates of that for a long time, so it's not like super new to me anyways. But amazing other mods have came out that I barely managed to look at so far. So I definitely have to catch up a bit on stuff that's gotten released lately. I wish we could manage to lay them on top of these, but I know that's not a thing. So he can lay on the floor back here. Oh god, I was gonna say with the angle that's horrible, but that actually kinda worked out for us. I've used these very little. Even that's a sign of how little I played the game in the last few months. I use all of these animated sims very little, so I have to get used to some of them at least. I mean, it's not like you see much of the animation the way I positioned him, but still. No, not at all. Quite the opposite. I think there is not a single person in the community that made decals in the past that is not tilted about whatever solution. I struggle even saying solution to that, but what PDX offered us, it is not great. I don't know how to say this without being sounding too negative. It's great that it works, and what they offer us is a solution that works, but is so infuriatingly painful in amount of work that has to get invested for these things that people like Starq, for example, immediately said, I am not gonna touch this thing till they give us something that's better than what they've given us so far. And I'm in a pretty similar boat. Like the asset or the decal importer, I mean, it's just the asset importer in general, but what they given us works, but it's so horrible on so many levels that I don't think there is going to be many people that are willing to deal with it since they or till they revisit it. So no, quite the opposite. I would not expect EIA to go anywhere, even more so after this announcement. If you would have asked me prior to it, I would have told you I think once they give us official support, probably most people will move over. But the solution they offer us is not good enough to actually get people to move over. So, no, not at all. Which, again, is not really a problem. EIA works, and yes, virtual textualization would be nice if they would give us it in a form that would be acceptable. Then I would be the last person to complain about this. But the way it is currently, I don't see anybody converting their pack soon. I mean, I don't think the problem, again, is the same thing as with everything in this game. I don't think it's super difficult, to be honest, but it's so tedious. Like, I'm not willing to invest that much time because, again, I don't think it's difficult. I think it's just tedious and not user friendly. Like, I could probably teach my after I imported a few decals, I can probably teach my 8-year-old nephew to do the work for me, right? So it's not that there is something super difficult involved, but the amount of tedious, repetitive work that is involved is beyond acceptable. At least in my opinion. I'm sure other people see this different than I do, but yeah, I'm not gonna be willing to port anything over to that pipeline as long as it stays the way it is. This one we can actually make functional over here. Yeah, but again, it's not about being easy. I think it's a very difficult or very important distinction, or however you pronounce that word correctly, but important to point out the difference between those things. Because I don't think the problem is that nobody can do it. I don't think that's the issue at all. I think the issue is how much work it is to get those things to work, right? And again, I'm people do this in their free time after work just to play the game or something. I don't think people are willing to invest as much time as they have to. Yeah, it's very fundamental things that EIA solved a lot better than the official implementation we've gotten now. And I'm not saying that's not how it should be, but that's absolutely not how it should be. And I don't even think that's a problem. Like, I also need to say I don't think it is a problem that they released what they released. I think that's totally acceptable and fine. It's better to give us something now we can try around with and learn, and then work on it in future and make it better. That's the only thing I care about, because the little things I communicated, I've been told a lot that this is perfectly fine, and that I disagree with, right? It's not a problem if they revisit this and change it in the future and make it better than what it is right now, make it a bit more usable, but then they gave us this. It's just about communication for me. If they would go out and say, hey, this is an early form of it, let's go out and give this to our player base already, and then while you guys are learning and playing with it, we're gonna work on improving it. Perfectly fine. If this is gonna stay like it is for the next year, then you will not see many decal uploads on EAA. That's very very certain in my opinion. And I think this garage here again is something where we don't even need to do pathing. I think we can literally just apply the upgrade and it should be functional right away. Depends a bit how close the road is, but yeah, this is close enough for sure. So yes, this one will be functional. I mean, also, we have to, this goes to both me and you, Gaga. Because the truth is, most of the people we spoke with on CSM, they are not PDX. They are not the ones to decide what changes and what doesn't change, right? I'm sure those people have a lot more influence on the game than I do, and they are like fairly deaf close. So yes, what they say do matter, but it's not like at least most of them have decision power. Bad Peanut does, but I don't know. I understand Bad Peanut frustration as well. Obviously, he's trying to get a good solution out to the player base, and it's frustrating for him to have people not be happy with it right away. I don't know. Wrong person to ask. I'm not a modder, and I have never talked to anybody at PDX, so I don't know. But I also think it depends a lot on the person. I know that some of them have very close relationships to PDX. I don't want to name names, but I quite literally have a person in my head where I know they are very close with PDX members and like literally talk to them very regularly. And then there's others where that's not the case at all. So there is no certain answer to this. And the more I look at this, I am fairly certain that we do have a bit of an issue in anarchy components getting respected. I see quite a lot of things that reset. Like, for example, all of these rocks here on the pass, none of this has been here in the past. And that's fine. I don't mind fixing this, but it's something we should let Yen know. I also think it really depends on the models themselves, right? Because the honest truth is where I've never bought in with any of the community is them not trying to make the best game possible to their abilities, right? Like any person who works on a video game wants to give the player a good product. So if you're a game developer and you go to work every day and then the person who have early access or something, they only tell you how shit everything is all the time, then I think that's gonna get to you and you're gonna try to have less close contact with them. If you have people who are very constructive and try to actually help you make the game better and are understanding that sometimes that's not as easy as it seems from the outside, I think the devs probably are a lot more likely to also give you an open door. So I think those things are hard to answer in general because that very well depends on a person to person situation. See, and one of the problem is with us detailing everything so much. But yeah, we definitely have a problem with especially decals. There is a lot of decals. All of this here has been faded. There is a shitload of decals in our build that disappeared. So I don't think I'm gonna save or keep anything of what we're doing today. So I think we're just gonna work on getting some nice screenshots in some corners and then probably call it a fairly short stream today, which again I knew the risk I'm taking with using alpha versions, but yeah, there is a lot of things that behave different. This has also never been broken before. I'm not even gonna bother fixing this because I'm not gonna keep the save or what we're doing today. And good night, Thomas. Absolutely no worries. Always feel free to also ask those questions in my Discord. Like I gladly answer all of this, but I don't have early alpha. I'm not or early access. I'm not really close to anybody, so most likely my answer will be I cannot tell you. But I find it interesting to have those discussions regardless. So never feel afraid to ask and have an absolute wonderful good night. Thanks for tuning in, mate. This we can also I don't like these vanilla carports. In fact, I will probably make carports sooner or later as well. But we definitely want that to be a garage. Here, we don't even make it functional because this is an actual property parking space from these people. So we are quite literally just gonna slap a garage on top of this vehicle and call it a night. Hold on, why is there one missing? I had a feeling the entire time while I was going, there is a garage missing. The question is, did I package that wrong or did I put it wrong in the UI? I think I probably put it wrong in the UI. Yeah, it's here. Mental note to myself, recheck why this is not running in the UI correctly. I probably forgot to assign the correct number. So that's entirely on me, but yeah, this one is not showing up properly. I don't want to move that vehicle. I want to move that building. But I also don't think I mean, it's also difficult to answer because I know that many people talked very highly of the relationship they had with Colossal Order. But then we have a new dev team, and I'm not sure how the situation behind the scenes looks with that. But I guess many of the old grown relationship between people who work for Colossal Order and then now Ice Flakes are not really carrying over because yes, some of the Colossal Order people I'm sure are now working for Ice Flakes, but it's also going to be a lot of new people that then have to form new relationships as well. As Gaga, you know most because I know you care a lot about it because of your guardrails. Have PDX any officially said anything about netlane support? Or is that something they don't talk about? Yeah, I'm a bit bummed because I see that all of this is missing so many decals and a lot of stuff that is missing right now. So we will definitely not save anything we're doing today. So there is no word out on them trying to give us support for that anytime soon, right? Yeah, I mean, of course, for Yang Yang, everything like that matters alone for net lanes and manipulating them and understanding them correctly. Have you asked? I always mess up his name, but Diamanco or however, I'm sorry if I butcher the name bad, but he seems very knowledgeable about the game and he seems to investigate a buttload about things that people are interested in. So he might be a good address to ask about it as well. I mean, Elgando, I have no blame for that. That's all on my mom for dropping me so much when I was a kid. So sadly, that's something I have to suffer with in my life now. But I don't think that will ever change. But yeah, I'm actually struggling. Our build is so dense. If anybody sees a good space for a garage, where you're like, hey, this backyard should get a cute garage, please scream. Because there is no space anywhere in my build. All of this is so dense, all of this is so detailed. It's not easy to go back anywhere in my build and be like, hey, we can put it down here. I guess we can replace quite a few of those ugly carports and just slam a garage on top of it. Yeah, that was part of why I was asking for the question, because my question basically is, are they already implemented and we're just missing good documentation for them? Or is it not properly implemented in the editor yet? And obviously that makes a big difference for this. Because one means that we can try to do science and work on it and figure it out, and the other means is impossible. So yeah, big difference, wholeheartedly. And I think I've seen another. Again, there is a reason this is not listed yet. I think I found another issue because this one seems to be terraforming. Can we find a rough terrain somewhere? This looks good. This will terraform. Yep, I knew it. Okay, I forgot the terraform override on this one. So two things we already noticed wrong with my garages, which not surprising that I did things wrong. But yeah, I have to put a terraform override on that one and turn off the terraforming. And I will have to make sure that the other one is running correctly. Yeah, you can't see everything. It's absolutely true. I had the same issue when I wanted to investigate building extensions. Because I was trying to learn about building extensions a bit more. And they are packaged in a way where you don't really see anything in the prefab. So, yes, that is true. Some of them don't properly share the content, and it makes understanding a lot more difficult because it's a great tool in this game to just open whatever you're interested in the editor and then look at the components and everything. That really is worth gold and helps studying a lot, but yeah, not all of them show you everything, so that doesn't work everywhere. I mean, I'd also assume that if net lanes are more officially supported, that we definitely hear about it. Because yes, you are very interested in it, but there is so many people in the community who are very hungry for net lane support. So the moment that comes out, we will definitely hear about it. I did not plan on this, on being a garage only stream, but then again, due to me, I was debating very long prior to launching the game if I should just go with the tested versions of Move It or if I should use the alpha version. And I decided I trust it enough to test the alpha version, but yeah, that has been a mistake. Yeah, a lot of our build looks a lot worse right now than it does with proper decals. Like all of this is so much better blended than what it looks like right now. So definitely something I don't wanna save. Welcome in, Urban. How are you cutie doing tonight? And I'm still sad. I was wholeheartedly thinking Urban is gonna join us in playing City Skylines and streaming City Skylines, because he's been considering doing so since a while, but you didn't end up in the end, right? Because I think you told me that the price rose, or it was sold out on the page where you wanted to buy it in sale. So I guess we still have to wait for you to join our cute community. Here we can fit a garage as well. Okay, nice. This actually looks cute as well. So nice on screenshots, and we can put a garage. Okay, but it's not like you, or are you gonna wait for the next sale now? Or are you gonna just get it anyways? I mean, I guess it does make sense to wait for a sale. It's not like the game is running away or anything. But if you start playing City Skylines Urban, I nearly finished my first asset packs ever. I made a bunch of boring garages like this one. So if you start playing the game, you can use my boring garages. And again, today is a bit of a failed stream because I wanted to detail a lot as well, but I'm using early alpha versions of Anarchy and Move It. And there is a few issues that make me not want to keep anything of what we're working on today. So we are not going to properly detail. We're just going to find or try to find good positions for garages and put down garages so we can take some cute screenshots. This dog, I'm going to have to delete anyways because all of my animals are slightly buggy. So we don't care that we're covering him. What is a bit questionable is the door right behind the fence. Do we care? We kinda care. I guess we have enough space to give at least a bit of margin. Honestly, I love these. I know it's also no surprise because I made these and I shouldn't say I love my own stuff. Generally, I don't like my own stuff. If you ask me if I like my decals, I would say not too much. But these I like so much because they are exactly the format I'm always been missing. We have so many of these really ugly things in our backyards. I just don't like these. I think they look a bit silly. But then the truth is that we had no alternatives to these in the past, so we've been using those a lot. I am very happy that we have a few more small options now, is my garages, because it's so easy to fill out backyards if you have a bit more stuff to work around that tells a story. So wholeheartedly happy about having them. And I also been holding my eye open because I added a new vehicle to the game. Because somebody made a very cute small Japanese truck. And I did add that cute Japanese truck to my game. And I've been trying to see one of them, but since we're playing, I've not noticed any of them at least. I'm not sure if they were just a prop vehicle, but I don't think so. I think it was supposed to be a functional vehicle, so I'm a bit confused on why we cannot spot any of those. Why do you have them as local mods? Is there a reason why you think that's better than having them online? I mean, all of the other vehicles are spawning, like all of the ones we're using, they're all driving everywhere. It might be that it is for a EU theme, but then it's supposed to be a Japanese vehicle, so I don't know why it would be only included in the EU theme. But yeah, I definitely can't see it anywhere. Hello, did you make a new Twitch account? What is this? Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, Elgendo. Though you can clean that up the moment you delete obsolete entities and then throw it out of your save, you're not getting that warning anymore. Oh, you forgot the login of your old account, or what do you mean you forgot the old one? But yeah, I'm certain it's not spawning. Like, especially the custom vehicles, they come up quite often. The Japanese truck is nowhere to be seen. Maybe I did something wrong while adding it to the playset? Or maybe it doesn't spawn, but I'm a tad confused because I'm fairly sure I did add it. Wow, from both accounts. That's trippy. But yeah, I knew something is wrong. I mean, to be honest, even though I knew the other account is you, I think probably more people will recognize you like this. Because the other name you've not used anywhere outside of Twitch, and like on your YouTube, I think you also had the same name. And we have a bit of a awkward stream today, Rezara, because I am using the early alpha of Move It and Anarchy, and it does seem like quite a lot, especially of our ground decals, are not carrying across their Anarchy component. So anything we're doing today, we will not save. So we're basically just placing garages everywhere so we can take screenshots of the garages and I can publish them. But we're not gonna keep any of what I'm working on or what we're working on today. And the difficulty in this build is that I detail so much and is so dense that it's actually not that easy to find spaces for my garages. Yes, copy and paste alpha, indeed. It seems great. It seems to work great. Like I do have an issue. That's why I don't want to save today. And the issue is not. I'm not entirely sure what it's caused by, but some of the anarchy components are not carrying across. So you see a lot of my ground decal work is disappeared right now. And I already tried to see if we can brush over it. but all of these actually have anarchy components right now, and still some of them are not showing. So I'm not entirely sure where the issue is. I would say patient. I'm sure that Yang Yang is gonna test this longer than necessary to make sure that there is no problems with this anymore. But yeah, good times ahead. Like very soon we will or not very soon, I should take that back, but sooner or later we will get proper copy and paste into the game. The timing was quite funny because there also is an updated and at least mostly working version of the Control C mod, but I trust Yen a lot more than I trust the maker of copy or of Control C. So I'm just gonna be patient and wait for Yen to finish up and then use his version of it instead. This one we can also I hate this. I hate that with those decals I cannot touch this garage anymore. I guess we can move it and upgrade it and then move it back, but annoying. But yes, this is one of the garages we can make functional easily. Now that should be functional. Yeah, yeah, Young is amazing. And again, for me at least, I would rather wait a month or 2 or even 3 months longer and get a solution that I know is well tested and properly working than rushing it early and having something that is not flawless. So we are just gonna wait patiently for Yang Yang to finish up, but yeah, very promising. There is a few things wrong with them still. I already, again, they are unlisted so far, so there is a very few things I have to fix up still. One of them doesn't get indexed correctly in here. It does in the search, but I must have forgotten to assign the correct number in the UI. And this one is still terraforming, and I want terraforming off for all of them. So I will have to remove the terraforming of this one. I've been thinking about it, but then the truth is, I also told the same to Gaga, because Gaga has been bugging me to integrate more garages that are more Frenchy friendly. And I guess actually he wants similar garages to you that are fairly trashy and simple. I have one, I think, that maybe you will say is good enough, but no, most of them are US focused because I want them for my build mainly. The one I have is actually the one that doesn't get index correct, is the most simple one. It's this one. I would say this is pretty Eastern German, trashy, block-like. Not sure. Maybe if you send me a picture of them in my Discord, then I might think of adding it, like really, with anything. If I like it, I will model it. But yeah, just drop a picture and I can have a look at it. I'm quite proud. I already said this is gonna be a bit boring for people, but the reason I'm so proud of these is that they don't need road access or anything, right? You plop them down like this, you can move them wherever you want. You can put it here in the mountain if that's what you like. I would question why, but whatever. But then if you want it to be functional, you quite literally just have to do this. And now this works. This is close enough to a road. If you want it to work back here, you can also make that happen. You can put it here and apply the upgrade. Now it's also functional. This one will not work because people cannot drive up to them. So what you will have to do is either add a road or an invisible passing, but now this one will also be functional. So I love this solution because it's so it allows all detailing freedom anybody could have, but it's really quick and not much work to make them functional. So very happy about it. And yeah, I did model these myself. I mean, that timing for me with the asset editor was actually quite nice because I have been avoiding to learn too much 3D in my professional career, where I would also benefit of it for sure. And Cities is a super nice moment for this to be able to learn quite a bit with them and have an output for them. Because I struggle a lot more with learning things if I just try to make something without proper proper output, a project, anything I can apply them to. And City is really super nice because it allows me to learn modeling and also have something I can put it. I mean, let them. If my garage just breaks, everything else in the game breaks as well. So I don't mind too much. Thanks, mate. Nice to hear you like him. I'm actually curious because you talk about especially the terraforming, and I do have a question with the terraforming that I have not answered myself yet. I have the possibility to remove the base of them as well. So if we look at them right now, you see is a normal game behavior as well. We get this concrete base below them, right? Which I think actually can be helpful if, I don't know, you want it in a position like this. If that concrete base does not fill, this thing is flying halfway. I cannot decide if it's better for me to go in and remove them, because that would give more freedom on working with them elevated or something. But then it is garages. I'm not sure how much you would need to elevate them. If it's not garages, then I could see that a bit more. But yeah, I'm not sure. I cannot change the texture of this. The texture is however this is. What I could have done, I did not know that I can remove the base. It's part of the learning process. I now know I can remove the base. What I would do for the future is I would actually model a bit underground. I would continue my model and stretch it to somewhere like 50 centimeter below ground elevation and then remove the base. Because then I think you have the best of both worlds. I did not know that. I'm too lazy to go back and touch every single model and model a base that goes below zero and do everything. It's so much work to redo this. Like afterwards, now I know this. This is something I will anticipate in the next one. I'm gonna make for this one. That ship has kind of sailed. So for this one, it's pretty much a decision. Do we want the base? Yes or no? But if it's not there, then it would fly. I mean, in that moment, you can just terraform yourself and fix it up. So wouldn't be a giant problem. I decided for now that I think the base is probably better to have the base than not have it. But you guys are very free to convince me of the opposite. If any of you is disagreeing with what you're hearing, then gladly scream and tell me about it. So I'll think about it. And goodbye, Elgando. Have a nice evening. And wait, one last thing before you leave. One of my garages has a ramp. This one is a very small and cute ramp. But look at it. It has a small ramp. This is the very only one that does have one. But yeah, have a nice evening, Elgando, and indeed enjoy
Bye,
your
have a great
banana.
day.
Bye bye, cutie. But yeah, this is actually I assume that at least in future, probably Gaga is gonna make a building or two as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. I will assume that Gaga models. This is something you should totally keep in mind, Gaga. Because yes, we can remove the base, right? We can remove this. But then if you stop your building exactly at the zero coordinate, then you will easily produce a floating building. So for that reason, I think whenever you model a building, you should just make it a bit longer and go underground a bit, because then you can remove the base and still have a good looking foundation and not the ugly vanilla concrete, and basically allowing the best of both worlds. Yeah, I mean, even if it's not building anything, really, you already know what your nest pack is. Because there is one pack, I assume, that is already on PDX, but nobody seems to be doing that. I might throw in something quick before I work on the churches I started already. Because there is one thing where I cannot believe that nobody has made it yet, because it's so simple, but probably one of the most fundamental props for the game. I'm not gonna say any more than this, because if there's nothing in a week or something still on PDX, I will just do it myself. But yeah, there is one thing I cannot believe that has not
I
made it
wish
onto
we had a
PDX yet.
cactus.
Is not a cactus. In all truth, obviously, the end goal of all of this is me being making a cactus. But the honest truth is, making a building for this game is not that
I wish we
difficult.
had a cactus.
Maybe it is difficult if you make, I don't know, a super detailed cathedral or something, then yeah, sure, that is difficult.
I wish we had a
Making
cactus.
bare bone buildings, not that difficult, but I don't think I can make a cactus yet. I can make a cactus yet, but I cannot make a cactus yet that I am happy enough with. And if I have a cactus, I want a cactus I actually like and I'm happy with. And sadly, I don't think my ability is there yet to pull that off to a standard that I would like to have. So the cactus has to wait till I'm less shit at Blender. And then, yes, sooner or later, I will definitely have a go at the cactus as well. But again, that's gonna have to wait at least a little bit for now. And Gaga, I also have another question on you because you complain a lot about traffic. Is your traffic way worse than this? Because wholeheartedly, I don't understand why you struggle with traffic as much still. I also get really bad traffic jams sometimes. Like sometimes this highway is backed up till up here or something. But it's not consistency. I quite like it actually. Because yes, right now my roads are very empty. They're not always like this. In rush hour, this is gonna be very full. All of this is gonna be one traffic jam, but they do empty again, and I actually think that's nice. I quite like the level of traffic they've given us right now. And it's so interesting because generally I think our experience with this game are fairly similar, and we usually complain about the same things. But you've been complaining a lot about bad traffic, and I disagree. But again, I disagree in my save. Maybe I would agree if I would be playing your save. Yeah, I mean, Los Vagos also is super undense, so makes sense you don't have more traffic than, or don't have less traffic than me. That's probably difficult to manage. Yes, I only have 20k pop, and now the actual kicker is out of those 20k pop, probably 10k pop is up here. So realistically, this entire area up here has maybe 10k. I would guess maybe even less than that. I think all of this is probably 8k, 9k, something like that. So yeah, my population is very small. No need to point it out. I know, I know. I'm very aware of how pathetic my population is. Actually, can I see that? I always wondered. Hold on. Then you teach me how to. I can just draw the district over everything, right? It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna save anything we're doing today, or I'm gonna save it, but we're not gonna keep it. I'm just gonna save it so I can take some screenshots. But we're gonna delete everything we've been doing today either. Now the difficult part is we have to find the name of this, right? Which it should be the one name that is not custom here, Barlow Downs. That seems wrong. I don't think I don't think I only have 33 people in this area. I'm not gonna say this definitely is wrong, but this definitely is wrong. I think it only counts the one that are not living in other districts. I'm fairly sure if I go in and delete any of these districts that this number is gonna immediately shoot up. Because yeah, there is no way like a single building we can click on or gonna show us higher number than this. So it means that somewhere there is 33 people living in this city who are not covered by a district. I think that's the answer we get. I mean, since we're not saving anything we're doing today anyways, I am gonna take a district where I know it's a lot of people living. So this one, for example. Yeah, see, this one alone has over 2,000. I'm gonna delete this. And now we're gonna recheck. Yeah, see, it only it's only counting this district not overlapping with other districts. So sadly, this does not give us the answer I would like to. I mean, actually, since we're not saving, we could, but that actually seems annoying to do. We could go in, but now I'm so curious. I want to know. And delete all of our districts. And then we should be able to tell. Is there a way how we can delete those quicker than what I'm doing? But yeah, I'm really looking for a part of what I'm looking forward to is being done with the garages. Another big part is that now I'm done with the garages. I'm sure that I'll play the game a bit more again, because as much as I enjoyed making the garages, we have been making zero progress in anything Los Vagos related lately. So now I'm gonna be playing the game itself a little more. I guess so. By now, I've deleted so many manual. Now we can actually finish this up manual. Because I always was wondering, like the answer to this is gonna be interesting for me. Because I always wondered how many people there actually is in Los Vagos, and I'm always only guessing. I simply don't know. So, moment of truth. Any guesses? Now is your chance to guess and put a number on how many inhabitants we have in all of this area here. You say 12K? I'm certain that's too high. I might eat my own words. I think Gaga's tip is probably pretty spot on. I would have also guessed roughly 8K. Moment of truth coming in now. Holy shit, Los Vagos is pathetic, guys. It's 5,500 people only. That is impressively little, even to me. And I knew that Los Vagos has little citizens.
That's
Yeah,
cute.
I'm not surprised that other people have more traffic issues than me, because even with 5,500 inhabitants, sometimes this street here looks like Los Angeles rush hour and is completely backed up the entire way from back here till somewhere up here. So yeah, that people who actually have people living in their city have more problems with this than me. I am not entirely surprised about. Okay, that answer is very interesting. Holy shit! Even I built all of this and play this all the time. I would have way overguessed this. Like again, I would have also thought like 7 or 8K probably, but it's 5. It's actually just 5. I cannot believe it. And still, even though there's only 5,000 people living in this city, it's so dense that I have problem finding spots for garages somewhere. In what sense wrongly distributed? Because I know that El Gendo, for example, constantly complains about there being too much industry traffic. And in my city, that's not the case. I think for me, the balance between industry and personal vehicles is pretty spot on. But yeah, I know that El Gendo complains about that a lot. Also, absolutely amazing mod. I'm sure you guys have seen it already because I know both of you are very in check with what's happening in the community. But I believe my Astro made these. Great idea. It's another very small and simple mod that by itself, without investing any work, adds quite a lot of visual vehicle variation to your game. So love it. This is the first one I've spotted since we're playing. But yeah, wholeheartedly, very cool. This, together with the container mod, quite literally have been making me think, and I love Jay's assets. I think Jay's assets are amazing. The one asset pack I've been thinking of removing is Jay's vehicles, because there are so many. And I actually think these newer custom vehicles we're having are even prettier visually. I mean, obviously, that's not Jay's fault. What Jay made is purely with the editor prior to asset import. And now we can import or write everywhere those vehicles to a bit higher standard. But yeah, I think now they're actually falling out a bit because these look so beautiful. These ones with the container as well, stunning. Difficult. And we need to find one last spot for a garage because the entire time we have not placed this anywhere. And this is also going to be the most difficult one because it's the biggest one. But I need one screenshot of this as well. So I don't know. We've been flying over the city many times now. We need to find a spot where this fits. And I want it to be in an already detailed area because I just want to take the screenshots without having to redo everything. So if you see any place where this would be a good fit, Maybe I found one myself. What do we think about this? I think we like this. I think we can just go ahead and take these two and move them forward a little. Yeah, honestly, my game is so stable that I never struggled with the loading times of this game. My game takes forever to load, it's really slow. I'm not trying to defend anything, but I just go and grab a coffee. Like, I'm not waiting for my game to load. When my game is loading, I start my game and I do something else and I come back and my game is loaded. So, does not really bother me too much. I can feel that my FPS has gotten a very little worse. I think I had consistent 28 FPS. Now I'm averaging like 26, 25. So I've lost like 2 FPS. So yeah, not the biggest problem really. I think for people where the game is not running stable, this is a big issue, right? Because I had a short time where I had to troubleshoot an issue with my main playset. Pain. Absolute goddamn pain. Because yes, if you launch the game just to see if it's if you fix a problem and then you close it and you launch it again, then yeah, that is so long and annoying that it's really frustrating, but if that's not the case, then I don't think it's a big problem. What do you mean, where is your shout out? This is not published yet. Nothing is done. Obviously, you will get a nice shout out for answering silly questions to me. Or what do you mean? But yes, talking about cool assets, obviously, one of the coolest assets that has hit the PDX store lately is Trashies. Again, I messed up and started with alpha versions of Anarchy and Move It, so I cannot save anything we're doing today. Or I will save it, but we will not keep anything of what we're doing today. So we're not properly spending time on anything. Trashy, I need to. Everybody else in my chat is gonna be like, oh my god, is he saying that again? But I need to show you something really quick that I'm very proud of because I've been banging my head into the one solution for a long time. And I've been trying to understand how I can make a version of my garages, a single version that is both functional and unfunctional, and I've done it. You plop this down, does not care where, does not need electricity or road connection or anything. No terraforming either, all really nice for detailers. I know you probably care less. But now comes the kicker. If you want this to be functional, you just click on here and you add this upgrade. And bam, this is a functional parking lot. And it even displays its usage and you can adjust the parking fee and everything like that. I have been banging my head against the wall for a long time because the cool thing about this solution is you don't even need any passing if it's close to a road already. But you can put it anywhere else as well. We can put it back here, obviously, lower it a little. Now nobody can get there. Nobody can park here. But as soon as we take any road, any path, any connection, and put it close to it, oh, this is. I need to investigate. I'm gonna say this is a problem of Move It. I think this is the alpha version of Move It. I have tested this before and had no issue, so ignore that the markers are still here. Because again, we're using alpha version of Move It and Anarchy, so this seems to be a bit of a problem with them. But if we would use the actual version, we could just put it anywhere and you pass it up and it would be functional. And I am really happy because I always was assuming that I will have to put every asset in twice to make it both functional and unfunctional, so everybody can use it the way they want to. And I hated it. I didn't want any duplicates in the UI. And I found a way to get the solution I wanted to without needing duplicates. So wholeheartedly very happy with that solution. And I think we can probably throw in another garage somewhere here. We can take this big one again, because we only have this placed once. Again, we're not properly detailing today, we're just looking for screenshots. But yes, obviously, Trashy has been, I mean, most people in my chat know that Trashy is always nice and cute and helpful. But Trashy has been very cute and helpful with Blender questions I had. Because I am nowhere near as genius with Blender as somebody like Trashy is. But yeah, Trashy been helping me with some issues I had, and I was very, very happy on it and wholeheartedly. Now I've nailed this with everything I wanted to. I feel a lot more confident in tackling other things as well. I love it. I've seen it, like those bungalows. You showed me some of the ones you made in the past, and you showed me the catalog of the buildings. I will love those. They will be 10 out of 10 for my build. So yes, probably one of the most exciting packs that I could use in the future. So yes, please make them, give them. I want them. That sounds fabulous because they're really, for everybody who's wondering, Trashy has been working on some very vintage, retro, single family homes with very classic US American vibes. They will fit fabulous into any rural build. They will also fit fabulous into any a bit less rural build, but especially for the rural builds, that thing is gonna be worth gold. God damn it, I'm so bad at this, but I manage. Here also is a shout out deserved for the man. Trashy does also stream City Skylines. I personally think Trashy should start plopping and learning how to detail and take his time while building, because he makes amazing assets and then he just zones his city, which looks very cute for a zoned city, but why not plop? Obviously, you should play the way you want to, but also, why not plop, Trashy? Platter is just zoning for people who want to pretend they're not zoning. It's why I think Platter is an amazing mod. Please don't misunderstand me. But there is a reason I don't think any of the detailers in the community really cared about Platter, because it does not solve any of the issues I have with zoning for me. I want control over what building I have where. I want to make sure a building is exactly the way I want it to. I want it to look exactly the way I imagine a specific area of my build. And Platter is not solving that issue. Yes, it makes zoning a bit less painful. So I'm glad for any zoner about getting Platter, because yeah, it's gonna make zoning a lot nicer. But if you're actually after control and want to have everything look like you want it, then Platter is not really helping that. I actually think the game is a lot more fun. I mean, That really depends. I found it very interesting. I'm sure most of you guys know Shilka because I raid Shilka sometimes. Very, very amazing CS1 player, as I learned and could see by his builds. But Shilka was a bit annoyed by cities, I think, about how tedious it is to build in cities. And Shilka did not really play cities for a while. And the last time he streamed, I told him that, oh, it's so nice to see you play cities again and glad to have you back. And Chilka said that he figured out for himself that he cannot zone. He needs to play. Or to he cannot plop, I'm sorry. He needs to zone to a degree because he feels like his progress is too slow. And I agree, my progress is very slow. I shouldn't be talking, but I just can't. Like, I don't have fun zoning. And this is the thing I've been talking about. I guess it's a prop only vehicle. It looks very cute. I thought it was functional, but we don't see it anywhere. I'm wholeheartedly confused why we're not seeing it. Because after we've not seen it the entire time, I figured that I might have forgotten to add it, but clearly I did add it. I want to look at the highway really quick just to see if maybe we're impatient, but it's gonna come somewhere here, but I don't think so. There is another one of those cool Maestro vehicles transporting stuff though. Honestly, alone that this has a super long trailer makes it a lot more interesting than the other ones. Yeah, all of my other custom vehicles are spawning perfectly fine. I'm wholeheartedly confused on why that Japanese truck is not spawning for us anywhere. Like, all of these are custom vehicles driving around. Hey, Geronimo, welcome in, mate. Nice to see you. I'm gonna give me one moment, guys. I wanna just read real quick if this should be functional or not, or if this is only a EU skin. It is a personal vehicle. It should work, and it does not say that it is NA or EU themed either. I don't understand why this is not spawning. I would love this. This would fit Los Vagos so well vibe-wise. Honestly, like, this would be such a fit for Los Vagos. So sad that we can't get those to spawn. Honestly sad. And how are you doing today, Geronimo? Look, here is another one of those. These are actually, they are so cute. It's another one of the Maestro vehicles. It's nothing but trailers transporting stuff, but it makes such a difference. And I mean, even the trailers look a lot cuter than some of the vanilla trailers, so lovely addition to the game. Same for on the trains, here is the same thing. I think this looks very nice. Though I don't like these empty flatbeds. I don't know why we see so many of those. After dinner nap doesn't sound bad. I like having after dinner naps. I rarely manage to do so, but if I can sneak one in, then yeah, big fan of that as well. And good night, Gaga. Again, I think because today we cannot really detail because I don't want to say what we're doing because I have the alpha version of Move It and Anarchy that's causing a few issues.
Bye.
I
Have a
think
great
I'm
night.
also gonna stop the stream fairly soon. I think we're gonna go ahead and place a few more garages so I have a bit more alternative for screenshots. And then I'm probably also gonna call it a night fairly quickly and try to sneak in another longer and more proper stream this week. Yeah, I like them on a weekend. I feel the same in a week where I also don't like to take a nap because yeah, then I cannot fall asleep in the evening. But in a weekend, especially if I had a week in which I didn't manage to sleep enough, nothing better than starting your weekend with a nice nap because you don't have to sleep that early anyways. Here we'd have loads of space because we didn't detail them, but then I don't want to detail those out if we cannot save our progress anyways. So would like to find places where we have already detailed but have enough space to sneak in a garage. This actually looks like a place where we can sneak in a garage. Well, not really. I'm sure you've seen, Geronimo, that there is alpha versions of Move It and Anarchy, because if you haven't heard, you will be very excited. Move It is gonna allow us copy and pasting in the future. And the copy and pasting feature is currently integrated in Move It and working fine. But it is still an alpha version with a few bugs that are not ironed out. I'm sure they will be ironed out soon. But yes, I currently still have a few issues with the alpha version, which is expected. It's an alpha version. Jen has specifically asked people not to do what I'm doing and play with these in your actual save. But I knew that I will just mainly try to place garages so we can get screenshots for my garages. So I didn't care too much, but yeah, we shouldn't save today because quite a few of the stuff we place in the past are not carrying across their anarchy component. And I don't want to have to rebuild so much, so we're not gonna save and instead just prepare some garages so I can take screenshots and finish my mod up. But yes, exciting times ahead. Again, I've not tried this yet, but this is button here you see is gonna be very exciting in future. It works perfectly fine for me as well already. The only issue is that it also currently still has some side effects that I'm not a fan of. So again, we cannot save anything of what we're doing today. Otherwise, we would be playing a bit different than what we're doing today. But at least I will have a few nice places to take screenshots for my garages. So we can finally release those. The one thing I need to fix two small bugs that I already seen, and then I do think I want to adjust some of the colors a little because I'm not entirely happy with the color combinations I put out. This one can be functional as well, and this I need to retest, but I'm 99% sure this is a Move It issue. Because see, for example, Geronimo, what's happening well, we cannot see it in this view, but if I move this and then we go back, the markers for more upgrade are not moving with it. So it definitely is still a bit problematic in some cases. So if we take this garage and we move it back here now, and we go back into Better Bulldozer and take this, you see this is an extension, for example, and the extension does not seem to move with the building yet. So that definitely is a problem, because that is happening perfectly fine in the actual version of Movie It. So this is not an issue with my garage, but it's actually an issue with Move It. And again, is an alpha version, so something like this should be expected. Absolutely not a problem. Important that we inform Yen about it, at least if he's not aware already. He probably knows already. But yes, I need to fix up the color combinations a little and some other very small things that we noticed today. Honestly, the problem is for what we're doing today that our build is too dense and we've no space left anywhere to properly put in garages without it looking silly. Maybe somewhere out here. Actually, these people could need a garage back here. We're not going to keep anything of what we're doing today anyway, so we can just sneak them in here for taking a screenshot later, and then I can yeet them out the next time. But I think we're going to go ahead and throw small one here, and I should change the color variation because we have the same one all the time. This very boring and gray one seems solid for these. If anybody wants to test these garages, they are not yet fully released. They work perfectly fine. There is two things that I'm gonna change, but they don't change anything about the function. I did post a link of those in my Discord, so in case somebody feels like testing already, feel free to check in my Discord and grab the link and test them out. Otherwise, it's not going to be a long wait anymore either. I'm not sure if I find time for it tomorrow, but I just need to add the screenshots and put proper description and fix the two small issues that I found today. I actually don't think I've flown over the map so many times now. I don't think we have a good place for a garage anymore. Actually, maybe here. I need to recheck if we have this place, we have this place, we have this place, we have this. I think we have all of them placed. We have this place only a single time. So maybe it would be nice for us if we could find a second space for this a bit bigger garage. So in case I don't like the other screenshot, we can find a different one. So our challenge for right now, if anybody sees a spot where they think this could be a good fit, scream. This one is so big that I think we need fairly luxurious area. So probably somewhere up here. What we could do right here is literally yeet out this carport because we use this all the time everywhere. And I do think for how fancy this house is, that carport actually is a bit too shabby in comparison. So I think this is probably exactly the spot I've been looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that one out. And instead, we're gonna go in. This is a nice color variation. And throw this down here. Deagle is bleeding onto it a little, but I don't mind so much. I actually think that's a nicer fit. Interestingly, I think all of the garages seem fairly big, but I've checked the sizes of the vehicles. Like, if you want to make sure that even a vehicle like this fits in your city very well, then they need to be that big. Otherwise, stuff quite literally does not fit into it. So, not really anything we can do about it. This one we can also make functional. Again, to make them functional, you just need to apply the upgrade, and then they need to have passing up to them if they are not already close enough to road. This one is not too close to road. So in this case, we would have to go in and draw an invisible pass here, and now this is functional. So wholeheartedly should be very quick and easy to make all of these function the way you guys want to. And what I just noticed here, we spent the entire stream looking for this one and wondering why it does not spawn. It did spawn. We have one here. This is a functional parking lot. We did not plop this, so this one definitely did spawn. Surprising to me why it spawned so little, because it feels like the other custom cars spawn a lot more. Like looking at these, we see a bunch of custom vehicles driving everywhere, but then that specific one seems to spawn very, very little for some reason. Maybe it's also because we've not been playing so long and it needs some time to populate the vehicle pool. But surprising to me regardless that we see this nowhere. We've seen it parking. I would love to see it driving, but I cannot manage to find it driving anywhere. Yeah, very, very confusing to me, to be honest. Because, for example, the Miata, it feels like every third car in our city is a Miata, which I don't mind at all. I love the Miata. I think it's great that it's everywhere, but very weird to see that there is such a difference in how often they spawn. Makes me wonder if people who make vehicles have any control over it, but I don't think they do. I really don't think they do. Because I know that Conzi, who is the maker of vehicle controller, for example, is planning on integrating custom vehicles into vehicle controller to have control about it in future. But I don't think currently there is any control over how much a specific vehicle spawns. So really confusing to me that we seen only a single one in the entire stream. I've been trying to pay attention to it, and it's been only a single one. I mean, I was wondering at first what you mean, but yeah, Miatas everywhere indeed, which is very fitting because we have a Miata gang in our city, so that very much is perfectly on point with our storyline. Look, is a second one. We just found a second one. I guess it takes a while. I think my conclusion to why this happens is it takes a while for them to go into the vehicle pool because I think the game actually is fairly realistic and it depends on people buying them and actually owning that vehicle so they drive around with it. And I guess since we have little new moved in people, it takes a while for our vehicle pool to change and get adjusted. There is one other garage. This one I would also like to place a last time, and then I think I also already am gonna end the stream very early today. But this I definitely need a second position of, because we have this place a single time, and I'm not too happy with the position where we placed it. So would be absolutely amazing to be able to fit this somewhere, so we have at least an alternative we could take a screenshot of.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
I welcome in, Shilka. Nice to see you, cutie. And it's funny because I've been talking about you earlier in my stream. Also, thanks a lot
That's
for the
cute.
raid and welcome in, everybody. But yeah, I've been taking you as an example because we've been talking about zoning versus plopping earlier, and you just told me when I jumped into your stream that last time that you feel like for your enjoyment of the game, it's healthier if you plop a bit less, which interesting because my own opinion obviously is the opposite of that, but yeah, very nice to see you're enjoying Cities so much again. Have you been playing Cities today as well? I think, honestly, I've always said so. My main example for that would always be Infrastructurist, who I think is the master zoner. So, yeah, I think is a perfectly valid way to play the game. I have never enjoyed it, so it's not gonna be me, but I'm glad for everybody that does enjoy it. Are you using Platter then? See, I had a feeling. I was gonna ask you, do you think you're gonna stick to what you just told us, or do you think you're gonna start plopping again in future? And it sounds like you're ready getting weak and starting to plop again. Honestly, not the most amazing spot for a garage, but I just have trouble finding good spots for the garages. I do think that fits fairly well. I mean, soon, Shilka, you will have another asset to play around with, at least if you like cute small garages, because, oh, see, this one doesn't even need to get passed up, it's already passed up. But I have been working on making a collection of different weird, random rural garages lately. And I am pretty much done. I need to add the description and a few things, and I want to test them a little to see if everything works out fine. But this is one of the weird, cute small garages we've been working on, same as is this one. And we've been making 8 different small garages that I will release one of the next days, maybe tomorrow, maybe in Wednesday. Depends a bit how much time I have. I was gonna say, Chilka, the thing is, I've seen your CS1 builds. I don't think you will stick to playing as barebone as you do right now, but then I do think it is totally valid to work out your city and plan out your city and then go back in later and improve on it. I think it's a lot more work, so I would rather just detail from the get-go myself. But I actually think that's probably gonna net you even better results because you have a better idea of spacing and what goes where and of your general city layout. So wholeheartedly, probably gonna make your city even better. But how did you enjoy cities today? And if somebody sees again, okay, there's one last garage here, and then you raided me in a bit of a weird timing because I will have to get to bed myself. I would have probably raided you myself in a few minutes from now. But I'm having a bit of issue because I'm playing with alpha versions of Move It and Anarchy today. And I don't want to keep what we've been working on in our save today. So I'm just gonna save this so I can take some screenshots for our garages, but then not keep any of the changes. I think it's difficult to break something. Yes, you can definitely break something, but I I think especially with assets, if you break something, usually it's something very fundamental. There is a reason that some of the assets, for example, blue screen you right away. That's not an accident by the city's dev. They want those things to blue screen, so you immediately know there is something wrong with the virtual texturing. If assets load fine, yes, there can be some things that are not functioning the way they should, but I think it's difficult for assets to have negative input on your simulation, for example. I personally don't use any code mods because exactly the same as you. I'm really scared of code mods and I don't wanna do anything bad to my save. I care too much about Los Vagos to have anything happen, but I don't think assets are that problematic in that regard. Especially something like my garages. Not saying you should use my garages, but they just add parking. They have no other functionality than parking. And even the parking, it only has it if you upgrade it. If you just plop it somewhere like this here, this is non-functional. Then if you want it to be functional, all you have to do is apply this. Now it's functional as soon as you put a pass here, right? We don't have a pass, so this will not function anyways. But there is not really anything this can break for you. It's just a parking lot. Doesn't change anything about the game otherwise. But yeah, I guess you're right. Like some service buildings, for example, could totally cause issues. But I don't think assets are that problematic. I mean, you've been talking about being tilted of progress. Have a guess at how long it took me to build this. This has 5,500 inhabitants. We actually checked that today. I always thought we have more than that. But yeah, Los Vagos itself has 5,500 inhabitants. And now guess how long I took to build this. So I guess it makes sense that some of these doesn't look horrible because we spent so much time that even if you have three left hands and have never played City Skylines before, if you invest enough time in it, you can make something that looks kind of cute. 'Cause I'm gonna not wait for your answer and just I've built this for I think a year now, probably a tad less than a year, but yeah, roughly a year of my City Skylines playtime has gone into this build, so I guess my progress is actually slow. You build a city that's bigger than this in 3 weeks, probably. I am inclined to very much agree with that, Shilka, because yeah, I don't feel very safe as a governor of this city either. In fact, one of our next big projects is gonna be turning whatever random assets we plop down here that look fitting to get turned into a jail. We desperately need a jail in our city because there is so many scary and sketchy people living here. I need a place to lock them in without causing issues for us. So yeah, again, I'm very much inclined to agree with you. And sadly, I will have to call it a night already for today because I have to get up pretty early tomorrow. And again, we cannot save any of our progress we're doing today outside of for taking a few screenshots of the garages. So sorry for the a bit weird timing to not stream longer after you just raided me, but also thanks so much for the raid. And I'm gonna have a quick look at Twitch myself to see who is streaming and who I can rate. And pass along the nice raid by Shilka. See, Muzi is still streaming, and I have not raided Moose in a long time. I've raided Dar a lot lately, who is also streaming, but I think we're gonna raise Muzi. And I'm sure Moose is gonna raid Dar later anyway, so shouldn't make a big difference. I mean, I love GTA. It's literally one of the things I always tell people. I think if you aim for making a good build, you should just aim for making a build that would be fun as a GTA map. And if your build is fun as a GTA map, then you nailed it, and it's going to be really fun for cities as well. Maybe one day, I think in GTA or in Cities 1, you had a mod that allowed you guys to drive around in your own cities, right? Because I would love to do that. I would love to be able to go into first person and drive through the city by yourself. What is Simcopter? I've never heard of that. I'm ready to start the raid, but I'm gonna wait for Shilka to answer because I'm interested. And yes, Geronimo, of course, I need to. Los Vagos is a dictatorship, and as a good dictator, obviously, I need a jail to throw people in that aren't behaving. So yes, soon. Oh. Honestly, I would love all of that. I think any mod that allows you to get different visuals of your city is 10 out of 10. So I hope we're getting something like that in the future as well. And with that, I am going to say big thank you for everybody tuning in today. Thanks as always for spending your time with me. And I hope all of you cuties are having a wonderful evening and enjoy your time over at Moosey's. I will try to kick my ass and finish up the garages as soon as I find time for it. And then finally, we have our first asset pack in the game as well. And with that, I wish all of you cuties an absolute wonderful evening and a good night. Bye bye.